If you're looking for a meaningful gift for a mom in your life, or maybe you just want to treat yourself, today's tutorial is for you. We're making this ever popular custom mama sweater, complete with kids' names on the sleeve, using Cricut heat transfer vinyl. Hello, I'm Elizabeth, and on this channel I create all different kinds of fun DIY projects. This project is beginner friendly, and I'll walk you through every step, from creating the design in Canva to applying the vinyl to your sweater. Let's do it! I'm starting with this solid pink crew neck sweater. It was brand new, but I washed and dried it once to make sure that it's done any shrinking it's going to do, so that the design doesn't get ruined when it's washed later. I love to use Canva for creating my Cricut designs. It's super user-friendly and has a ton of amazing fonts and design elements. Of course, you can pick any fonts you like. I'm making this for a friend who had some very specific preferences, so I'm following an inspiration photo she sent me. I played around with some fonts and heart elements until I found the ones that were a pretty close match to her inspo, and what I landed on was a font called Brittany for the word mama, and a font called DM Sans for the established in 2021 text, and then I used that same Brittany font for these names that will go on the sleeve and chose a little heart doodle that I thought was cute. So now I'm ready to export my design. I'm going to switch over to my phone, but you could use just your phone or just your computer for this entire thing. I'm saving the design from Canva to my phone, and if you have a Canva premium account, you can save it with a transparent background. But if you don't, you can just remove the background right inside Cricut Design Space when you upload the images there. It's pretty user-friendly. You just press and hold and keep the cross inside the area you want to remove. But it does get a bit trickier with these tiny loops. Once you've removed the background and uploaded your images, you're ready to cut your vinyl. To figure out the sizing, I like to physically use a measuring tape to take a look at the spacing on my sweater. I decided to make the Mama decal 8 inches wide and the sleeve names 2.5 inches wide, but yours may need to be a bit different than this depending on the size of your sweater. I'm using my favorite white iron-on vinyl, which I've linked in the description for you. When you're using heat transfer vinyl, typically there's a shiny side and a more matte side. The shiny side is a carrier sheet that you place your iron on top of, and the matte side is the actual vinyl that we will be cutting into. For this reason, it's really important that you place your vinyl shiny side down onto your cutting mat so that your blade is cutting into the vinyl instead of that carrier sheet. And it's also very important for you to mirror your design before you cut, since we are cutting on the underside of the design. If you're using just a normal heat transfer vinyl, select Everyday Iron-On, and then you can start your cut. Once your design is cut, you'll need to weed out the excess vinyl that isn't part of your design. I cut away some of the excess vinyl before doing this, and then used a hook tool to weed it. The carrier sheet that remains is sticky, so you need to be super careful with these really tiny bits, because if they get stuck to that carrier sheet, you'll end up ironing tiny specks onto your sweater. To iron on my design, I'm using my Cricut Easy Press, but you can also use a household iron. There should be instructions on your vinyl for what temperature to use and for how long, but if you don't have instructions, you can check out the heat guide on Cricut's website to help you figure it out, which I've linked in the description as well. I'm also using a heat press mat, which I'm sticking inside the sweater to protect it and help give even heat and pressure distribution, but if you don't have one, you can use a clean bath towel. Following the instructions on my vinyl, I preheated my sweater for a few seconds, then applied and pressed my design with a sheet of parchment paper on top for 15 seconds, and waited 45 seconds before peeling the carrier sheet. You can see a creased square that was left on the sweater from my heat press. That's very common, and I'll get rid of it by using a clothing steamer after the vinyl has sat for at least 24 hours. Then I did the same thing on the sleeve. I just forgot the parchment paper sheet this time, but that's okay. And here is the final result. For longevity, it's best to wash your iron-on vinyl creations inside out in cold water and hang to dry if possible. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment letting me know what sort of projects you'd like to see in the future. See you later!